Yo, what's going on, man? Today is February 28th, 2023. It's your boy Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show, live on Twitter. I'm also live on YouTube as well for the new people. And we are in the business of getting to some cash on the show, man. All we trying to do is cash some tickets, trying to be on the sharp side, be on the right side of a lot of these games, a lot of these spreads, a lot of these player props, a lot of these team totals, a lot of everything, whether it's the over or the under. So I only ask that you guys hit the like button for me if you guys can to show some support for the show. Doing shows Monday through Friday, twice a day, 7 a.m. with Cashed It with Chris as well. I did one this morning. Gave out some early looks that I liked as far as totals. I think all of those totals have moved in my direction as far as the unders. And unders have been profitable, man. So we just gonna keep riding the train until the market adjusts and adapts to us winning. We have seen totals go under a lot more recently. And I kind of wanted to start to show up with that before I jump into the plays that I like. I saw a tweet yesterday. I forgot who tweeted it out, but I saw a tweet. I actually saw it this morning that yesterday was the first time. I think it's been 174 days in the NBA so far this season, and yesterday was the first time in the league that we didn't have a 30-point score. Paulo Banchero was the leading scorer yesterday. He had 29 points out of the 4 games. So, and we had some pretty, prolific scorers playing yesterday as well, with Embiid not getting to his points prop. So, just unders, man. I'm looking at a lot of them. I think, if they make money, then they make sense for me to play them, and I'm gonna keep playing them. So I talked about a few that I liked earlier, and that's where I kind of want to start the show with today. So, first total I want to talk about is the. Give me a second. Let me get my stuff loaded. So let's go to let's go to the Lakers and the Grizzlies. That was one of the first ones that I talked about. We know that the Lakers have been winning their games with defense, and they've been just playing a lot better defensively as well. They're gonna be probably on the wrong side of this one tonight, being that they are catching 9 points on the road as a dog against the Memphis Grizzlies, and they're also on the first leg of a back-to-back as well. So not a favorable matchup for the Lakers here. Of course, LeBron James got ruled out. He's gonna miss. It looks like multiple weeks. Not sure exactly how many, but it looks like LeBron's gonna miss multiple weeks of basketball with I think it was a fracture in his leg. And then also the Grizzlies are also playing on the first leg of a back-to-back as well, which made this total kind of enticing. I played it earlier this morning, real early this morning. You could say last night at under 233.5. The total has come down now. Do I still like it to go under is typically the question that I get. And my answer to that would still be yes. You look at this Grizzlies team, and the Grizzlies have really picked it up defensively as well. They play a different style of basketball without Steven Adams in, and they just really picked it up defensively, which is what I like. We saw them out of the All-Star break go to Philly in a game that they should have won and play really good defense against Embiid. Jared Jackson Jr. typically, kind of holds the fort down for them defensively. And I think the Lakers struggle here without D'Lo, without LeBron. So I played the total under. I still like it to go under. Of course, I wouldn't play. I see a 230.5. I wouldn't play the 230.5. Definitely get the better number. I do think the 231 probably goes under, with both of these teams having to play tomorrow. And I talked about Memphis a little bit. 5-1 to the under as a home favorite since February started. Only averaging about 217 points per game. The Lakers have also won 3 straight games after the All-Star break, and all those games have gone under as well. If I'm looking at a prop in this game, I don't know, what I would play. I'll probably be looking at Malik Beasley, probably looking at his threes. One thing we know about the Grizzlies is it's really difficult to score on the inside, so I probably wouldn't play AD. As good as a matchup that he had last game, I think it'll make Jared Jackson Jr. gonna make it a little more difficult for him tonight. He is susceptible to getting in foul trouble. We know that as well. The Lakers should run the offense through AD. You still got a lot of defensive guys out there like Jared Vanderbilt. Dennis Schroeder plays pretty good defense. So I'll probably be looking at the Lakers be able to score from the 3-point line. So probably Malik Beasley props, his threes is what I'd be looking at in this game. Also, I think the Lakers are susceptible to giving up some threes. We saw them struggle in the first half of that game against Dallas on the road. So Desmond Bane threes, absolutely in play, especially with him being at home today. So that's the way I would look to attack this game, probably from the 3-point line. Also, really quickly, I want to talk about a trend that I found that made me go from liking this under to loving this under, and that trend was so when teams are playing on the first leg of a back-to-back, and when teams are playing on the first leg of a back-to-back, with a total that's greater than or equal to about 234 points in conference games, which the Lakers are, 25-7-1 to the under. That's 79% say that teams that this game goes under. Also, you look at totals of 200 and about 35 points, which this total has dropped now, but totals of about 235 points post All-Star break in conference games, if you exclude the 2 overtime games, are 12-2 to the under as well. So I was really looking at, trying to take a lot of these unders today. So that's one that I played. And I won't stick around too much longer on that game. But I did take that game under, and I talked about it earlier on the show as well. The next game I want to talk about just a tad bit is the Portland and Golden State game. Spreading this one opened at Golden State, laying 3.5 points as a home favorite. Total in this one was at 236. And I like this game also to go under, of course, right? And it's for some of the same reasons. Portland in a similar situation that the Lakers are and the Grizzlies are, as far as being on the first leg of a back-to-back in a conference game with a total that's set of 235 points or higher, right? I just kind of gave you guys the numbers, 25-7-1 to the under, 79%. And then I talked about totals over 235 points post All-Star break in conference games, excluding the 2 All-Star games, are 80% cash into the under as well. Also, I just feel like, from not looking at trends or, SDQL, but I just feel like Dame's going to have a big game. I don't think he gets close to scoring 70 points again against, a much more solid defense. And Dame's getting a little older now in his career as well, man. So will they rely on him, to do a lot tonight? I think they absolutely will. Will he score 50 points? I don't think Dame goes off. I don't think I really doesn't. I really don't. I think somebody else gonna have to step up, whether that be Cam Reddish, whether that be a guy like Jeremy Grant, like somebody. I know Matisse Thybulle not gonna be out there getting buckets, but somebody's gonna have to score other than Dame. I looked at Donovan Mitchell after he had 71 points against the Chicago Bulls earlier this season. He came back and he was playing against a really good defensive team in his next game. He played against the Phoenix Suns. He scored 20 points on 30% shooting against the Phoenix Suns. So typically you see some regression, right? I always talk about teams going over. Typically you see some regression for players as well. I know he has a lot on his shoulders. His points prop sitting at 37.5. I'm not touching it, but on the first leg of a back-to-back, if they're going to have anything left in the tank, this could be one of the games where Golden State pulls away, especially with getting Draymond Green back. This could be a game where Golden State pulls away early and Portland kind of packs it in, because they do have a game tomorrow against the Pelicans, and that's a very winnable game. The Pelicans are absolute bottom feeders in the NBA right now, and I don't think it's getting any better because they really just have Brandon Ingram. CJ McCollum has a wrist injury. They cannot shoot the ball at all. Offense is falling off a cliff, and Zion doesn't look like he's coming to save the day anytime soon. So for all of those reasons, and that game is actually at home as well. So if Golden State, gets the 16, 17-point lead in this game, Dame, probably going to go under because they're going to try to win the game tomorrow. This is a meaningful game on both sides as well. So all of that being said, the cherry on top is out throwing that the Warriors, they typically, we fade them on the road defensively because their defense gives up about 123 points, but at home, they're only giving up about 110, 111 points. The Warriors are 9-1-1 to the under at home with a total of 235 or higher this season, average score being about 225 points. So could we see a lot of points in the first half? Maybe so. Does the game go over for the full game? I think absolutely not. And I would still play that under. I played it at 236 last night. The total has come down to 235, so it really hasn't come down. Golden State the spread has moved towards Golden State, and I do like Golden State tonight. Did I lay the points for Golden State? No, but if you see a live line at like 3.5, I do think that they win the game. For me, they just the much more complete team. You can get whatever it is that you want against the Portland Trailblazers right now, with them not having Nurkic and with they don't have a lot of rim protection. Drew Eubanks down there. So I like Jordan Poole could go crazy tonight. I think they probably do a good job on Clay. But I expect Jordan Poole to have a big game. Draymond also back in the lineup. So I did take the under in the game. I also lean towards Golden State. But I'm not laying the 5 with them. Also still would endorse the under at 235.5 as well. And then the last under that I took, the last play that I gave out was the San Antonio Utah game. I took that under at 235.5. Right now, that under is actually up to 236 at some places and 235.5. So I like this one. I like this one probably just as much as I like the other two, man. And if you really been following basketball, you know that the Spurs, while they have been giving up points, they just can't. They don't score a lot. Very similar. They're overpriced in the market. Very similar to the Detroit team. Detroit game last night. This game kind of feels like that to me. The Spurs don't score enough points for this game to get up to 236 points. And then you look on the Jazz side, they're gonna be without Jordan Clarkson in this game tonight. He's out. Of course, Colin Sexton is still out as well with the hamstring injury. So I don't know where the points gonna come from the Jazz, even though I know that they're just playing against the Spurs. They signed Chris Dunn and they've been playing him pretty big minutes. Chris Dunn has actually been in, for a lot of minutes recently. If you guys been watching him play, I have been watching him play, and I think that he influences the total to go under as well. He's a pretty good defensive guard. So I played the under in this game. Jazz are 18th offensively rated post All-Star break. And the Spurs are 23rd offensively post All-Star break. They're also 7-3 to the under on their team total in the month of February. So 10 games they played, they failed to reach their team total in 7 of those games. I think people not gonna like this. I think the Spurs probably could cover the first half in this game as well. Not endorsing, telling anybody to play that, but a few things I looked at, and I was talking to my guy earlier about this. The Jazz have the second best offense over the month of February in the second half. They actually have one of the worst offenses in the first half. And if you look at the Spurs, they were actually winning that game by 11 points, 10 or 11 points, I think, when these two teams just played against each other. And they just fall in the second half. The Spurs have the second worst offense in the second half in the month of February, behind only the Miami Heat. So I think the Spurs come out here with something tonight. I don't think that they win the game. You also get Trey Jones back, but I do think that they keep it close early. I don't think the Jazz run away with this one early in this one, because that's just the way the trends have been going for these teams. So slight lean towards the Jazz plus the 5.5. The Spurs in the first half plus the 5.5 to kind of keep this one close, at least before halftime, before they probably get blown out in the second half. I also expect the second half to go under as well. So especially if it's a lot of points in the first half. So those are my 3 top looks. I talked about them earlier. I gave all these out earlier this morning as my best bets for today. If you're watching on YouTube, it's actually at the bottom. I'm trying to make it a little more easier for people, because a lot of people jump in late, say, Chris, what's your officials? They're always going to be posted at the bottom for the rest of the season, so you guys can actually, just see them and don't gotta, I don't gotta keep repeating myself over and over again. Let me get to the chat real quick. It's a lot of other looks as well, man. I'm not gonna go through all the whole card. I do have notes, and if people got questions about the card, definitely, send me a request. If you're listening on Twitter, send me a request and I'll answer your question. And if you're in the chat, just you can just drop the question as well. Let's see. Daniel said, I took over 119.5 in Minnesota and the Clippers. We'll be looking for a live under. Also, Paul George is a sneaky look for highest point score at plus 450. I think you mean the first half over 119.5. I actually like that, Daniel. I think they'll get Rudy Gobert back, which he isn't really stopping anybody. He doesn't affect a painted area, but Minnesota probably will run out of gas, and I expect the Clippers to run out of gas in the second half as well. Coming off back-to-back overtime games, I see points in this one. Also, the Clippers are 2-0 to the over since they got Russell Westbrook, and we see this a lot of the times. Not just with this situation specifically, but when new additions get added and it boosts your offense, typically your defense starts to kind of teeter and not play as well. Teams play defense when they have to stay in games. When you don't have to because you think you got enough offense to win games, your defense typically kind of fades, and that's when you see a lot of overs. So I would endorse that as well. I would endorse that over for the first half over 119.5. That's literally asking it, the score to be about 58 to 59 or something like that. Westbrook has gotten in there, and they've really been able to kind of fill it up. They're just not playing as much defense. So Tyronn Lue gonna have to figure it out. I'm not betting on the Clippers yet. I don't think that this is a spot that I want to back them in. Especially with them laying so many points. Anthony Edwards had a really bad shooting game, and they were supposed to win that game. They got outscored in the fourth quarter. I think it was 31-17. So he lost the fourth quarter by 14 or 17 points. I can't remember exactly what it was, and only ended up losing the game by like 4 or 5. So they definitely were supposed to win. Do you like the under in the Atlanta and Wizards today? Please help me out. So Don, I actually looked a lot into that. I was looking into that game last night, and I hope you're still listening, my guy. The problem for me with the Wizards in Atlanta is that Atlanta can't stop a nosebleed. They couldn't even stop this Nets team that don't really even got a lot of scores the other day. So Atlanta tends to go over. When they're home favorite, they go over. When the total is set, what is it set at? 233, they go over. The problem is the Wizards don't have a lot of scoring without Porzingis. I'm not sure if Monte Morris is going to play or not. I think he was listed as questionable for this game, but they went to Chicago and could not score the ball. So when you look at the Washington Wizards on the road, especially when they're a dog and the total is similar to the total today, they go under. So that's why I kind of stayed away from that total. Atlanta don't play enough defense for me, and I think a guy like Kuzma could get hot. I think the best play in that game, honestly, if I'm playing anything, and I didn't make this official, but I'm playing the Wizards probably first half. Atlanta typically struggles out the gate, and they don't really turn it on to the second half. So that would be my play. I think that the Wizards are one of the stronger first half teams in the NBA. They typically fade in the second half. So that would be my play. I would be playing the Wizards in the first quarter, probably Wizards in the first half if I had a play in that game. But I'm not getting involved on a total at all. What up, kid named Coop? Let's keep the momentum going for sure. Was one Butler assist away from $10 to a grand yesterday, but he did get a double-double. That's a fact. Chris, your thoughts on Beasley 17.5 points? I actually like it, man. I think Malik Beasley gonna keep shooting. That's what he out there for. AD could draw some double teams. And like I said, if the Lakers gonna score, I think it's gonna be from the perimeter. So I like Beasley to get 18 points tonight, man. Somebody gonna have to step it up offensively tonight. But I am on the under, so I'm not playing Beasley. I just played the full game under. So that's what I'm looking at there. Daniel said, what did Daniel just say? He said Atlanta, Dallas, the Clippers, Portland, Sacramento, all allowing points team totals over in 4 of their last 5 games. So Atlanta, I don't know about Washington being able to score today. They could score today. Dallas been giving it up left and right. I would look at Indiana. Indiana typically struggles on the road as a dog, but I do like Miles Turner. I don't know if I don't think I mentioned it on since I've been talking right now. But I do like Miles Turner. Miles Turner been hooping. I wanted to play his points plus rebounds. I just didn't get there officially on it. But I think I capped it at matter of fact, let's go to that game real quick. So Miles Turner, 27.5 is what his points and rebounds at. He either gonna crush it and get close to 40, or he just gonna end up with like 17, right? There's no in between. You look at the Mavs, they have no paint presence. They do Maxi Kleber is predicted to return today. He's listed as questionable. He hasn't played a game since like December the 15th. So if he comes back, I'm not really concerned at all about him, right? I mean, when you take out Christian Wood, they have nobody else that's left. You look at the wing players as well. The Indiana Pacers do not have a lot of guys that can fill it up. Of course, they have Halliburton. Of course, they have Ben Mathurin. Of course, Buddy Hield is there. But outside of that, they have no big man that's consistently scoring the ball. The Mavs have really been giving it up against they've been giving up points altogether, but they've really been giving up the centers in February. So what I got is AD had 45 points plus rebounds on Sunday. Gobert had 35 points plus rebounds. Sabonis had 32.5. In 2 games, he's averaged 32.5. And Giannis Valanciunas has had 29 points plus rebounds. Those are just the centers in February. Turner's averaging 21.9 throughout 9 games this month. I think he can keep it going, man, today. And actually I think he can crush this number. I just didn't play it yet. And if I do make it official, I'll let you guys know. Halliburton double. I didn't talk about that one, but that's my another prop that I really like in this game. I think Halliburton, I think he had back-to-back games with like 14 assists. And like I said, this version of the Dallas Mavericks team, when they traded for Kyrie, they traded all their defense away. Dorian Finney-Smith is now with the Nets, of course, and they're just not playing defense. They're just really trying to outscore you. And we saw them, when you're making shots, it's nice and it's fun and it's cute. But when you're not making shots and you really got to defend, they struggle. And that's what happened in the second half of that game with the Lakers. They just, they couldn't really stop AD. Bron got whatever he wanted in the paint as well. And I think that continues today, which is why I kind of like, if I'm playing the game, I'm only playing the Pacers plus the 9. I'm not laying 9 points with a team that plays no defense. And I think the spread did go to 9. But the one thing that kind of kept me off is that I looked at the Pacers. They are 2-9 straight up and against the spread as a road dog in non-conference games with 6 straight losses and 6 straight non-covers. So that was enough to talk me off the Pacers. When they're on the road as a dog, playing against the Western Conference, only 2-9 straight up and against the spread with 6 straight losses and 6 straight non-covers. The Mavs on the opposite side are 0-7 against the spread as a home favorite in non-conference games. So when they're playing against the Eastern Conference, they're the favorite at home, haven't covered the spread yet. So I've still leaned Pacers because their record is a little bit better, but I didn't play that game at all. Couldn't talk anybody off of playing the Pacers today. Also couldn't talk anybody off Miles Turner points plus rebounds. Very similar spot as we were on with Wendell Carter Jr., who just got in foul trouble yesterday, which is why that one didn't cash. But I like Miles Turner to go over. Also like Tyrese Halliburton double-double. Of course, it's his birthday as well, and I'm probably not going to play Halliburton double-double because I feel like the whole world is on it, and we know what happened when the whole world is on something. He'll probably end up with like 21-9 or something crazy like that. So probably not going to play it because I've been hearing a lot of people talk about that. Let me keep going real quick, get to some of these comments, then I'm going to get to some of the requests that I got in the chat as well. Ivan said pool party tonight, over 23.5, 24.5. I'm allowed at 30.5. Okay. I could see Jordan Poole. I mean, he eventually got to come out the offensive slump that he's in. It wouldn't surprise me if he went bonkers tonight. A kid named Coop said Miles Turner is back in his hometown, and the Mavs allowed the 7th most rebounds in the last 15 games, like his double-double and rebounds. I like that. Coop, I might have to play it. Man. I didn't play it officially yet, but I didn't know that he was from Dallas. If Miles Turner from Dallas, I'm probably playing it. I'm probably checking his game log and see how he typically plays when he plays in Dallas against the Mavs, but I'm probably playing that for sure. I'm glad you mentioned that, Coop. Appreciate you, my guy. Anybody see Bobby Portis props? I didn't even check for him yet. They probably gonna come out a little later. Morris is out for the Wizards. That's even less points for the Wizards. That's not good for the Wizards, man. They struggle to score. I do think that the Wizards scored more points today than they scored against Chicago because Chicago's defense is light years better than Atlanta's defense. I do want to make sure I make that point. Bradley Beal could go crazy. Kyle Kuzma could go crazy. Somebody gonna hit their point prop for the Wizards tonight. With Monte Morris out. It might even be a Bradley Beal assist type game as well because he does kind of take on the ball handling duties and the playmaking duties and turns into the point guard when they don't have Monte Morris. So I could see that. Leaning Grizzlies first quarter over 29.5. Memphis should pack the paint. Pack up the Lakers early. I wouldn't take the over. I think I look more towards the Lakers under because I think the game goes under. So I don't know, how that looks. I also think my 2 favorite first half bets. Shout out to my guy LJ. LJ talked about this early on the morning show. My 2 favorite first half spreads would be the Grizzlies first half. I see Fremont just tweeted it as well. Just put it in the chat. Grizzlies first half spread and the Warriors first half spread will be my favorite 2 first half spreads. Sometimes Memphis can come out the gate a little slow. This is a revenge spot. I don't know if people remember, but it was a Friday night. And you can call it the Shannon Sharp game when the Grizzlies came to LA and they lost that game as 9-point. They lost outright as a 9-point favorite. They did everything they could to lose that game. So just something to kind of take into consideration. You look at this Grizzlies team. They typically, when you come to their gym after beating them in your gym, they turn up in that spot. They cover the first half spread. I just didn't get there with that one because I don't want to force too many plays today. Y'all know I don't like to give out like 8 or 9 plays, but Grizzlies first half I think is the best look in that game. The Grizzlies also scored. Interesting stat that I bet you a lot of people not keeping track of. Grizzlies actually one of the worst offensive teams in the fourth quarter. So would it surprise me if the Lakers covered the back door? Not really. Would it surprise me if the Lakers got blown out because they do have a game tomorrow? Not really. But I do kind of expect them to keep this one close, man. I think they keep it close, which is why I'm not on the spread. I do think that the Grizzlies get up and kind of cover that first half spread. So that's why I'll be looking there. Let's see. Markel said just gonna sit back and bet the Lakers tomorrow. The Lakers do play the Thunder tomorrow. And SGA will be out just because SGA has COVID. He in healthy safety protocol, just for people who don't know. I bet the Lakers, I bet 150 on the Lakers can win 622. Wish me luck. Best of luck, bro. Best of luck, my guy. Frank says a tricky card today. I also agree with that. I'm going to church on Miles Turner. Is Luka birthday today? It is Luka birthday. Luka just got out of jail too. So LA, he got a bail. I think Kyrie bailed him out. He out of Vanderbilt lockdown facility. So Luka should go crazy today. I think Luka has a big game today. It wouldn't surprise me if Kyrie, played well as well. But I think Luka has a big game today, being that Jared Vanderbilt not on the floor. So I like Luka today. The Pistons, the Pacers, they typically can't stop anybody. I do think Dallas win. I don't know if they cover that spread. I wouldn't take if I'm playing the game. I'm taking the Pacers to cover. The Nation is on Holly. Yep, that's why I'm not playing them. Best of luck to everybody playing them though. I couldn't talk you guys off. Let's see. DeLon Wright versus the Hawks. DeMar versus the Raptors. Justin Holiday versus the Pacers. Brooke Lopez versus the Nets. All revenge ankles. Brooke Lopez could actually go crazy tonight, just because Nicholas Claxton don't like extending out to the 3-point line, and we know that's where Brooke Lopez gonna sleep at tonight. He always camping at the 3-point line, knocking down 3-pointers. So I could see that as well. I could see him going crazy. I think the Raptors, because Bulls' first game on the road. Is this the Bulls' first game on the road? If I had to play in that game, I think I'd probably play the under. Raptors scrappy defense. Bulls have the best defensive rating in the last 10 games by far. I think their defensive rating when I checked it was like an 89.4. So this team has been really, locking teams up. They locked the Nets up the other day. Then they locked up, who else did they play? They locked another team up. I can't remember exactly who they played, but they locked a couple teams up the other day, man. So I think that I think that defense translate. You got Patrick Beverly and Caruso, and DeRozan's not the worst defender. You also got Patrick Williams. He's playing off the bench now because Patrick Beverly is in the starting rotation, but he's definitely comes in, and that game has like first round play-in type vibes to me. So I do think that that's a competitive game. I'll be looking towards the under. I know money's come in already. The total is now at 219.5. I think the first team to 100 win the game, man. I honestly do. If that, I really do like that under. Like I said, I just didn't want to play that one. Nuggets Rockets first quarter over 59. Nuggets one of, if not highest first quarter teams, should get whatever they want against the Rockets. I best of luck if you take that. I'm not going to talk you off your play. What I am going to say is, if you look back at shout out to my guy RC, we talked about this on the show earlier. If you look back at the Nuggets schedule, the Nuggets have played some really, 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 really tough teams recently. They just got off a game with the Clippers. Before the Clippers, they played against the Grizzlies. They got smacked in that game. Before the Grizzlies, they were on the road trip. They played the Cavs. Before the Cavs, they played somebody else that was the Mavs. I feel like this is a letdown spot for Denver because they are going on the road and they know that they're playing the Rockets. Could they absolutely smash the Rockets? Absolutely, right? But to me, and the Rockets have been getting smashed, but I don't know if I like their first quarter offense. I feel like this game's going to be closer than a lot of people think. And I've been betting against the Rockets heavy lately, but the Rockets are something I think like 3-0-1 against the spread as a 8-point dog or more at home. So I'm not telling you not to take it, but I do think that game, if they keep that game close, I mean y'all can say y'all heard it here first. My guy Mitch said he's on Bane. Points plus rebounds at 26. I like it. I like it. Points plus rebounds 26.5 for Bane. I like it. Anthony said that he loves the Mavs first quarter. Luka over 31.5 as well. I think Luka goes crazy tonight. I see Luka scoring over his 31.5 as well. What did Luka do, or was that just a joke? Luka didn't do anything. He just had to play against Vanderbilt. That's all. It was just a joke. He was clamped up last game. Portland, Golden State under 236. Lakers, Memphis under 233. Jazz, Spurs. That's the plays right there. Tez, that's the plays. That's what I'm on. I'm on all three of those unders right there. Sabonis rebound versus the Thunder. He had like 12 in their last 5 meetings. I like that. I couldn't talk anybody off Sabonis. Triple-double, if you want to play that. They also seem to be in a letdown spot, though. This team has been balling. The Kings have absolutely been demolishing teams. They are super hot. Best offensive rating in the last 10 games, last 5 games. We know that they scored 176 points in a double overtime game against the Clippers the other day. But they already beat this Thunder team the other day. Now they got to play them again. Potentially, well, without SGA, to me, it kind of feels like a letdown spot, especially when you got the Clippers on deck again coming up. I think they don't play until the 3rd. I think they got the rest of the week off. They don't play until like Friday or Saturday. But to me, it just feels like a spot where they may overlook the Thunder in this one. I'm not 100% sure. I don't like them I don't really like them as much on the spread. Let's see. Yeah, I think Luka gonna dominate as well. Mike said also DeJounte Murray last 4 games against the Wizards. He has double-digit rebounds. Okay. That's a look I did not look at. Daniel said the books basically guaranteeing Lillard will be the highest scorer. Clay at plus 550 is pretty wild. And Poole at plus 1,500. I think I'd rather go Poole at plus 1,500. The reason why Poole has to facilitate a lot more without Draymond Green being there. He has the ball in his hands a lot more. Of course, you got guys like Dante DiVincenzo, Ty Jerome trying to play offense, trying to run that offense as well. But Jordan Poole can be more of a scorer when he does not have to take on the role of facilitating the whole offense. So I think Poole is the guy that I would look at on this team. Of course, he's probably going to draw, Matisse Thybulle, who's a pretty good defender. But Jordan Poole, if he gets hot, man, he gets going, it's nothing that Matisse Thybulle going to be able to do. Luka triple-double, I think. So I don't know if I take Luka triple-double. Could he get it? Yeah. Has his numbers declined since Kyrie got there? Yes, they have. Luka hasn't gotten close to getting a triple-double yet. His assists has been the thing that has not been hidden most recently. And the Pacers don't play with the fastest pace on the road as a dog. So I hope all that makes sense. Official sides, I think that's Kai. I didn't play any official sides. No, but I tell you guys what I'm looking at if I had to play one. If I had to play a side in the Washington Atlanta game, I'm taking Washington first half. First half spread is, let's see. First half spread is plus 3.5. You can get a plus 4 for Washington as well. I do think that Washington keeps the game close early, but I don't like it as much without Monte Morris. So I'm you know what? Definitely, I'm scratching that. But Atlanta would be a letdown spot for me in this one. I just feel like Atlanta. I can't trust Atlanta. That's really what it comes down to. Chicago, Toronto. Fred VanVleet is back after having his son. For people who don't know, he is the more rested Toronto Raptor. This is the 3rd game in 4 nights as well. 3rd game in 4 nights and a 4th game. No. It's not a 3rd game. It's a 4th game in 6 nights. The Toronto Raptors are the first team at post All-Star break to have to play a 4th game in 6 nights, and it's their first game back home. So I expect a big night from Fred VanVleet. I know that they got a bunch of guards that can slow down. Bunch of good perimeter defending guards with Caruso and Patrick Beverley, but I look for Siakam to have a big night, and I also look for Fred VanVleet to have a big night in this one. I don't like that game on a side perspective. I'm not laying 6 with the Milwaukee Bucks, who are coming off an emotional win either, but I'm definitely not back in Brooklyn, so I don't like that spread. I think Memphis first half would be my top spread look on a side. Memphis first half. I also think Golden State first half. You probably can get them at a -2 in the first half. Those would be my top looks. Also, I think OKC probably struggles to score. Even if they don't, I don't think they can outscore the Sacramento Kings if De'Aaron Fox is rolled in. He's a true game time decision, so not 100% sure if he's going to play in this one or not. Denver, Houston. Definitely not touching that one. That feels like a trap to me. Um, Indiana, Dallas, I would only be taking the points with Indiana. Like I said, Dallas is one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA right now. So I'm definitely not taking the win by double digits. Pacers +9 would be the top look in that game. And then I talked about San Antonio, Utah. Ugliest play of the day would be Utah. Would be San Antonio first half. I talked about Utah being one of the better second half teams as far as scoring. So that's the way I would look there. And then Clippers, Minnesota. I'm not laying 6.5 points with a team that's coming off 2 straight overtime games, and Minnesota gives Rudy Gobert back. Mike Conley's due for some regression, some positive regression, because he's kind of stunk it up since he's been traded to Minnesota. And Anthony Edwards just missed a ton of shots last game, so I'd be catching the points with Minnesota plus the 6.5. And then I do think that Golden State is the right side in that last game against Portland. Dame should be extremely tired tonight, and I don't like Portland's offense without Anthony Simons, without Nurkic enough, right? Jeremy Grant, can he help tonight and play a little bit better? Absolutely, but I'm not betting on Portland because I think that they have a bigger game that they probably can win tomorrow against the New Orleans Pelicans. So those are my top looks. All my best bets are at the bottom. I talked about Miles Turner, points plus rebounds over 27.5. I'm probably gonna end up playing that. Any official money line tonight, Chris? None. No money line play that I like. I don't even see a spread close enough to be a money line. Sacramento or OKC. I'm only taking Sacramento. Not betting on OKC without SGA against the best offense in the league. I hope that makes sense. And that's what I got for you guys, man. I've been talking for way too long, so I'm gonna kind of open it up. OKC money line and Fox not playing. Nah, I'm not going OKC. I feel like OKC kind of punting the season, and I think Malik Monk could go for 40 again if he's not there. They also have nobody to stop Sabonis, so they still don't get it twisted. That Sacramento Kings team got a lot of guys that can fill it up. So yeah, I'm not betting on OKC. I know they're a home dog, but typically with a total this high, I think they're 0-3 when the total's like higher than 237, 236 points as a home dog. So I'm not betting on OKC to score without SGA. So that's the way I would look in that game. Let me get to some of the requests in the chat. I appreciate everybody for being here. New baby narrative, yeah, for Fred VanVleet, absolutely. If you guys hit the like button for me, I gladly appreciate that. I got my guy Dream in here, so we're gonna kick it to Dream. I'm gonna also get Keith up because I know Keith been waiting for a minute, and I'm gonna get Vaughn up as well, and we're gonna open it up and see what everybody else is on as well. Dream, you up first, my guy? How you doing, man?
What's the vibes, man? I can't complain, man. Jimmy, man, I told you playoff Jimmy, but he was 1 assist from that 9,500, man. It's pain.
Yes, sir, Jay. You called it, bro. You called it, man. He backed it up too, and I think I was influenced by what you guys were saying in the chat, and it kind of made sense, right? 1 + 1 = 2 type play. Loved it, Dream. Glad he cashed this out, bro. I really thought he was gonna get the triple double at halftime, especially after he had such a big first quarter.
Yeah, I dumbed him down. No, they have 8 rebounds and 8 assists and still got some good money, so it's cool.
Like it, Dream.
I got 2 plays. It's a lot to like today.
Absolutely, bro.
And I honestly, bro, I took a page out of your book. If I don't love it, I ain't touching it.
I love it. I love it, Dream. Because you know what the crazy thing is, Dream, and I'm gonna get right back to you. The crazy thing is it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 9 more games tomorrow. So what you don't get today, you just get tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, so it's no need to to go crazy tonight. But what's up, Dream? What you got for us today, man? What you looking at? What's them 2 top looks?
All right, first is one of my favorite looks of the year. Knock on wood. I've been waiting for this spot. I'm on Alfred Sengun, the center from the Rockets. Almost any way I could take him. I know we talked yesterday about Houston looking to tank. I agree with that. How they could be sitting their starters playing less minutes. I also agree with that. There's a few reasons why I love Sengun today, though. And I'll keep it short as possible. For one, Jokic is his idol. If you look at my page, I posted an interview. If you watch him, you know he play like Jokic anyway, but he gushes about Jokic. He loves his game. He talks about how it's his idol, so I expect him to play well against his idol. I also don't expect the coach, Silas, who's on his way out, to really screw the fan base's favorite player because he is their favorite player. They not really on Jalen Green or Kevin Porter Jr. They love Sengun. They want to build around him. So I doubt that them being home that he's gonna sit him. He sat Sagun the whole fourth quarter the last two games. I think that was in the message. I doubt he does it tonight. The number, his points plus rebounds is 24 and a half. His points are 15 and a half. I love both of those because he's ascended over the last month or two. Everybody knows about, well, a lot of people know about him now. But the first two times this year when he played Jokic was all the way back in November 28th and November 30th, before really people was paying attention to him like that. And in those two games, he only played 29 minutes and 23 minutes. One game, and then the next game, he had 18 and 7. So he's going over this points and rebounds and limited minutes before he actually came into himself, before he could actually have the, for lack of a better term, the balls to be like, yo, this is my game, y'all give me the ball. So I'm not expecting him to have 30 and 20 or nothing tonight, but to me that line is too low. I even sprinkled his triple-double, even though the offense should run through KPJ, assuming he comes back. But I sprinkled the double at plus, the triple-double at plus 3,900 as well. But I'm on his points over 15 and a half. On his points, rebounds over 24 and a half. I'm on his double-double, plus 140. And yeah, anything else that I'm on, I'll put on my page. But those are the three main things. I love Sagun tonight. And my second play is Malachi Branham for the Spurs. Simple play. Even if Trey Jones come back, I expect Diop Bates to go to the bench, and I expect Branham to keep his starting spot. Even if he doesn't, he can still get a lot of shots off the bench. But Trey Jones coming back is not going to take a lot of shots out of his hands. And I love Sohan. I think he could go crazy tonight, but he's kind of a boom or bust type of player. Malachi, he's gone over this number 7 of the last 10 games. Last game, he had 13 going into the fourth. He only took one shot the whole fourth quarter. I don't know what was up with that. But I love the 14 and a half, and I laddered that all the way through 25 plus 1,000. That's what I'm on.
Yeah, and so I didn't mention that, Dream, but Malachi, I was talking with Jay earlier. He said he liked Malachi tonight as well, and made me do a little more research. I like Malachi tonight as well with you, Dream. Like you said, Sengun he's the boom or bust guy, but I looked at Malachi, his shot attempts, and they're I'm always big on shot attempt volume. If he gonna shoot the ball that many times, like it's literally like shot attempt per point, right? And we know he can score, pretty much at all three levels. So I like it, and he's playing with a lot of confidence right now. I like him a lot as well, Joe. I might sprinkle on him as well. And if I take him, I might take him at 20 plus as well. I also think Trey Jones potentially coming back. I don't know if he got ruled in yet or not. I ain't see his props when I looked about 40 minutes ago. But I think if he comes back, it actually might help him to be able to score. You know what I mean? So I like it. I like it.
He's a pass first point guard. He's looking to get other people involved. And he's not really looking to shoot.
Absolutely. We were cashing his points plus assists about 2 months ago.
It was a run, man.
Yes, sir. It was a run. You got to find ways, man. You got to find little creative ways, and I like that Dream always doing that. Sengun, like Dream talked about, this is his idol. Great narrative, but also great, data to support it. Dream said 24 and a half points plus rebounds. He's cleared that line twice. 18 and 11 in the last game that he played against Denver. 18 and 7 in the time before that as well. So I would only be able to look towards Sengun to go over. I also talked about it being a letdown spot for the Denver Nuggets tonight because you see the Rockets on the card after all of the games that you just had to play against, and you like, man, it feels good to have a nice little easy night tonight. And that's when Sengun can hit you, because one thing we know about Jokic is he ain't trying to stop nobody. He just really trying to outscore you. So I like it, Dream. Like him a lot, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Good luck tonight.
Absolutely. Right back at you, bro. Let me kick it to Vaughn, and then Monotone, I'm coming to you, and Keith, I'm gonna try to get you back up. What up, Vaughn? Hey, Vaughn, can you hear me? Yeah, absolutely. I got you. Monotone, what's going on, my guy?
Nothing much, Chris. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Give me some insight, Monotone. I don't know why you requested and what play you got, but give me some insight on your Wizards tonight without Monte Morris and without Porzingis.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, normally I feel like what my hit rate maybe is like 70% coming up here and giving Wizards props, but unfortunately it does look pretty fair to me today. The only lean I would have is I think the Hawks are going to win. The Wizards are playing some rough basketball right now without Porzingis, and they're running into some pretty tough matchups. I was on the Bulls pretty hard last game against the Wizards. So I wouldn't have much confidence in the Wizards right now. On the other side, I think Trae Young points and assists against the Wizards is a pretty good matchup. We really don't have a good matchup for a pick and roll master like Trae Young, right? I mean, with Porzingis out there, Gafford has a clear size mismatch with Capella right there and Okongwu off the bench. I just think it's one of those things where I think if Trae Young doesn't go off with points, he'll go off with assists. I think kind of balances out a little bit.
Okay.
But as for actual bets, I kept it a little bit weird today. I know there's a lot of popular players, so I'll talk about some less popular players. So I started out with Isaiah Joe to get 3 threes and Jalen Williams to get 1 steal. I ran that as the same game parlay for -110. Isaiah Joe is the best 3-point shooter in basketball. He's not maybe the most known, but in terms of percentage, in terms of just, he's knocking them down this year. 45.3% from 3 so far this season. And it is on pretty low volume, but it's still on 5 attempts per game, which is, even with low volume, obviously still very impressive. So the Kings allow the 3rd most 3-point made to shooting guards over the last 30 games. Joe crushed this number in both games against them, right? He went 7 for 12 and 4 for 8 versus them. No SGA in the lineup is obviously huge. He's averaging 4.5 threes and 8.8 3-point attempts with 25 minutes when SGA doesn't play. So those are some Buddy Hield numbers. If you need someone to kind of mentally compare to Isaiah Joe to in your head, if you're not sure who he is, I would think Buddy Hield. I think they're very similar players. And then Jalen Williams, another rookie, very young player out of Santa Clara, been very impressive so far. A lot of people may not know, in the year 2023, since January 1st, he leads the NBA in steals. This guy's everywhere. Very active hands. 2 steals in both games versus Sacramento. 1 steal in 24 of his last 26 games coming in. No SGA should also help increase those minutes. Sacramento versus the Thunder should be a fairly high-paced matchup. The Thunder defense has gotten a little bit better so far this season, but the 234 total leads me to believe there'll be plenty of offense. So that's definitely one of my favorite looks today. Same game parlay, I think there'll be a lot of offense. I think there's a lot of value on some of these lower name guys like Joe and Jalen Williams with that SGA.
Would only be able to agree with that. One thing we know for sure, Monotone, is that the Kings they're not out there trying to stop you. The last thing they want to do is play defense. They just want to outscore you. So I love it. Monotone. The volume is going to be there a lot. We know SGA had a ball in his hand pretty much every single time down the floor. Not to say he don't pass it, but that's a lot of usage that has to be accounted for. So love that look. Monotone, one more time. That was a combo, right? It was Isaiah Joe, 3+ threes plus Jalen Williams, one steal.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. It's -110 over on DraftKings right now.
Got you. Okay. So Isaiah Joe over 2.5 threes plus Jalen Williams. Little 2-leg parlay for Monotone that he dropping for the people, man. If you like it, go play it. If you want to do some more research, I advise you to go do that as well. To get familiar with these names, but I like them. I like it. I like that look a lot, Monotone. Appreciate you sharing that, bro.
Of course, man. Too, and I got one more kind of weird one, real quick. I went Talon Horton-Tucker.
THT. THT to get a block. Okay.
Yes. Plus money. You're getting +105. I went half unit. Got to be a little bit safer right there. But the Spurs do allow the most blocks per game over the last 10, over the last 20, over the last 30. Pretty consistent team. And yeah, he's just been very impressive. He has a block in 6 of his last 7 games since coming back from injury. He had 3 blocks versus the Spurs, despite only playing 24 minutes and getting into foul trouble. I know people may not want to play blocks on non-centers, but he's going to have a size matchup on pretty much anyone he's going to be guarding. The Spurs are a team that drive a lot. They've been bottom 5 in 3-point frequency all season long. It's one of those situations where there should be plenty of block opportunities, and I just think it's one that literally nobody is thinking about whatsoever, so the price is just wrong. Like, I probably made the price -135, and it's +105. So I since nobody cares, I think it's a good kind of sneaky little spot to take advantage today.
Woo-wee. I ain't know THT could jump high enough to get a block, Monotone, but if you get one, I do like it, and I like that you only put a little small sprinkle on it too, man. I like it, Monotone. Like you said, if the trends are there, and you like to play, man, you absolutely go for it. So Love the looks from Monotone. Appreciate you sharing those as well. Real quick, before I come to Keith, I want to come to Keith next. Before I come to Keith, I want to address something that Daniel said in the chat. He said, anybody got thoughts on Brook Lopez over 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists? Brook Lopez is another one of those guys that's extremely boom or bust, right? He could go out there and get you 8 points and two rebounds because he's allergic to rebounds on certain days, and 1 assist. Or he could go out there and we just watched him. I forgot who they were playing against, but he just cleared his points prop in the first quarter the other day. Would I take Brook Lopez over his 20.5 points plus rebounds and assists? I absolutely would. I think it's the right play. Just doing some quick looks on that. I talked about it earlier. I think Nicholas Claxton is going to be guarding him. Nicholas Claxton will not want to be drawn away from the rim. They need him to protect the rim. So I like him to be able to knock down some threes today. He should be able to get some rebounds. The Brooklyn Nets are allowing the third most points to centers over the last 7 games since all of the trades have been happening. They're also allowing the third most rebounds to center as well. So I think that's a really, really solid look. And I'm actually going to write that one down. Appreciate you, Daniel, for even asking that question. Brook Lopez, I hadn't even looked at his PRA, but Brook Lopez over 20.5 is what Daniel's saying to that PRA tonight. Like that look a lot. Even with Bobby Portis being back, I think Brook Lopez, as long as he can stay out of foul trouble, I like the look a lot. Appreciate you, Monotone. Love the looks that you shared as well. Let me kick it to Keith real quick, and then coming to my guy Mitch. What up, Keith? How you doing, man? I think it's your first time on the show. How you doing?
Oh, what's going on? Now, I've been through this show before. I just made a new account just to keep my personal life out of it.
I like it. Nothing wrong with that. I do the same thing, bro. It's like, nah, not really. But yeah, I'm with you, though. Nothing wrong with that, Keith. What's going on, man? What you liking today?
Man, it's a weird slate to me, in my opinion. A lot of national televised games coming up and starting March. You know how March Madness goes around. But FanDuel's funny for one, not putting up these defensive props. I was really cashing on me, especially Mitchell Robinson last night. But I like the look that someone Monotone just gave with Jalen Williams. I love taking the steals. That's why I'm upset that these defensive props aren't up yet on FanDuel. But one guy I'm actually looking at is Kenrich Williams. And the reason why I say that is because the Kings played in this spot several times this season where they play the same opponent in the same week back-to-back. They only lost to Golden State twice this season. I believe that's the only team they've lost to twice. And even in that second game, they covered the spread. They only lost by 1 possession. I think the spread was 7, favoring Golden State. That being said, they make adjustments. I love Isaiah Joe, but just how everybody's on Halliburton today and Turner being like all these narratives, I love that. But I think today is a day where you got to go with the sneaky play. I like Kenrich Williams. I think he can cover his 8.5 points. I even took 10 points at plus 110, I believe I got it at. But that's like my one lock for today. And another play, one of my homies pointed out to me that there's a lot of playoff implications going on in the East, particularly with the playing situations. And you have a lot of those teams playing each other. You got the Hawks hosting the Wizards, and you got the Raptors hosting the Bulls. And I put a little quick parlay together. I'm a huge fan of tri-bets. If you go all the way to margin on FanDuel, I took both teams to win by 7 points or less. I got the Wizards at plus 140 to cover at least 7 points so they don't lose by 7 points. Either team can win. And I got the Bulls and Raptors either team to win at plus 140 and plus 120. I parlayed that together for a plus 428 ticket. And I think those are my 2 confident picks for the night.
Damn, that's a solid look, Keith. I think you might be the first person to actually come on the show and talk about a tri-bet. I know a lot of people probably don't even know what they are, but I think you did a pretty good job of explaining them as well. So couldn't talk you off of that, man. That's crazy that you could parlay those 2 together. I had never even thought about parlaying tri-bets. I played them a couple times, but never thought about parlaying those, bro. I like that, man. Plus, nice way to get some plus money too.
It's tough. It's a cash out option. I like it. But I'm really looking at Kenrich Williams because I just think Coach Brown is going to make adjustments. Like, we know Isaiah Joe can get off. He's the best shooter, but the way they've won games when they're in that second leg of that same game or back-to-back same opponent, they make adjustments and they guard differently. And the Kings, I think Fox is a game-time decision, but that only leaves Davion Mitchell starting. So if we're being honest, that doesn't really favor Isaiah Joe. He's not a he's not. Davion Mitchell can fight through those screens. Davion Mitchell can move his feet. So, and I'm pretty sure he's out of Baylor. It's a defensive college, if I'm not mistaken. So, I don't know. More of it just makes me favor other people on the Thunder and Kings. And I did also take a look at that Pacers game. I sprinkled Miles Turner over the 8.5 rebounds. Nothing too crazy there. I kind of don't want to go too crazy on this slate because I have a feeling that's the end of the month. Players are more so looking forward to the rest of the schedule. There's going to be a lot of games tomorrow too. Got more looks for tomorrow.
Okay. I appreciate you sharing the insight, Keith. Best of luck. Best of luck, but absolutely. So real quick, just to kind of give people an update, Giannis remains probable 26 minutes ago. Fred VanVleet is going to play 40 minutes ago. And then I think everything else looked like it's tomorrow. And I want to give you guys some looks for tomorrow that I haven't really dove into too much yet, but I want to talk about them just based on what I'm seeing. Because we do have some early lines as well. So I'll do that at the end of the slate today. But let me kick it to Mitch real quick, and then I'm coming to you, YBB.
Hey, what up, Chris?
What up, man?
Hey, man, I'm on the train right now. My phone's low, so if I cut out, just move on. I heard Buddy talking about Jalen Williams. I really like Jalen Williams tonight. I'm going with his assists. He's hit his assist in 4 or 5 games without SGA. He's averaging 4.5. His line is at over 3.5 tonight for -102, -105, -108. I've seen some money or some lines hovering around even money. And what is it? So he hit this line last game versus them. He's hit 6 in a couple games, and Sacramento is averaging the most assists a game versus them. Their opponents are averaging the most assists per game at 5.68. They got the shooting guard averaging 5.71, which is the 7th in the league over the last 7 games. I just think it's a good spot. Someone's got to score. Someone's got a ball handle. Giddey can't do it all. Like the gentleman said earlier, they're going to have some Davion Mitchell. So I think that he might draw some Giddey, as well as, you got this new Isaiah Joe, this new shooter that's coming out hot. He's got no leash. All he wants to do is shoot. So you stick him with the guy that wants to pass the ball, and I think that he hits his over 3.5 pretty easily tonight.
Okay. Jalen Williams to go over 3.5 assists. Mitch is on it. Somebody got to be able to get him. Like it, Mitch. Like it a lot. Cannot talk you off, my guy.
Yes, sir. Good luck to everyone in this cash.
Absolutely. Let's do it, bro. Next, I'm coming to YBB. YBB, what's going on, my brother? How you doing?
What's up, Chris? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. What's going on?
Nothing much. All right, so I'm just gonna give one play, cut out real quick. But I like. Hey, Chris, are you still there? I heard this weird little cutout.
Yeah, I'm still here. You good?
Okay.
Yeah, you good.
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna go with the Timberwolves today. I know it's a little bit of an unpopular play because people would consider this a get right spot for the Clippers team, but the Timberwolves, I like them in the spot for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think that the line is off. I think that the Clippers should be closer to 4.5 point favorites. So I like that. Secondly, the Clippers are 0-9 against the spread at home, coming off a road loss. They actually lost 8 of those games outright. Secondly, they're off back-to-back overtime games. And home teams, when they're facing an opponent that they went over the total with in a previous matchup, they're 1-15 against the spread. Let's see. The third point on this, so teams that are coming off a game as a dog that went to overtime and they failed to cover the spread, home favorites are just 3-15 against the spread, and home favorites with the average line of -5 or worse, they've actually lost 14 of those games outright. And then lastly, the Timberwolves on one-day rest, coming off a road loss as a dog, they're 24-12 against the spread. I just think the number's a little too short. I want to be surprised if the Wolves win outright. I'm going with Minnesota as an unpopular underdog today.
I like it, Bobby B. We talked about this earlier. Shout out to Ronald. We talked about it on Let's Cap earlier. Really, really like that look as well. Would only be playing them. Also like the second half under, probably on a live line as well, because I do think that the offense is slow down in the second half as well. So like that look, Bobby B. Appreciate you sharing the look and all the insight around it as well, my guy.
Yes, sir. Good luck, guys.
Let's cash it, YBB. I like it. I like it a lot. Now let me kick it to my guy Vaughn. What up, Vaughn? Can you hear me?
Yo, what's good, bro? You hear me good?
Yeah, you good.
All right, man. I got a few that some people already talked about. I think we kind of aligned on some spots. So I like Isaiah Joe, but I like his points. If you look at his points the last 2 games without SGA, he scored 24 and 28 points. His line right now is at 16 and a half. I liked it a whole lot more before De'Aaron Fox was ruled out, with Davion Mitchell being a much better defender. I don't like it as much. Well, I don't love it as much. I still like it, and I already put it in, so I'm going to roll with that one. Also, I am on Anthony Davis rebounds and assists. I got it at 15 and a half. So if you look at Anthony Davis so far this season without LeBron, let's see, he has gone over this line in every game except for one without LeBron. I got it at minus 130 on DraftKings, and that's his rebound and assist line. And he hasn't, this isn't one that he's like barely hitting. The line is at 15 and a half. Last game he had 21. Before that, 17, 18, 23, 20. So he's been killing that line. So I love Anthony Davis rebounds and assists. Memphis hasn't been as well rebounding the ball without Steven Adams. And then, like you talked about earlier, no LeBron, so they should be kind of looking to run the offense through him. So love Anthony Davis rebounds and assists. I took Isaiah Joe points at 16 and a half. I took it as well at 20. And my favorite player tonight is Walker Kessler rebounds. So I had a whole lot of stats, but that shit on my work computer. But I think he's averaging 19.1 rebound chances per game over the last 3 games with no Vanderbilt. Averaging 15 rebounds per game over the last 3 games as well. Rebound opportunities have been there. Playing against the worst or second worst rebounding team in the San Antonio Spurs. They've struggled to rebound this game, the last 7 games, last 15, last 30. I don't think there is a 10-game stretch where the Spurs aren't bottom 5 in rebounding. So love Walker Kessler tonight. I took a ladder on him. So those are my 3 favorites for tonight. I'm also going to play Daniel Gafford rebounds. I got this line at 6.5 when it first opened up. I think it's at 7.5 now. Last game he had 11 with playing 30 minutes with no Porzingis. So I just like the rebound chances there. Let's see. Those are some of my favorites, bro. I'm with you. I like the under on the Golden State and Portland, but I missed it. By the time I got to it, it was at like 235 or something like that. I don't like getting the worst of the number. But that's all I'm on today, man. I like John Morant rebounds and assists combo as well. Looking to get a little bit of a bounce back night, man. Last night didn't go too well for me.
Hey Vaughn, what you get 80 rebounds and assists? What was that number?
All right, so if you on FanDuel, it's at 16.5. I got it on DraftKings for 15.5 for minus 125.
Okay.
So I played a whole unit on DraftKings and I played a half unit on FanDuel.
Okay.
I think he goes over both of those numbers. Let's see. And I did a little sprinkle on the Halliburton assist, man. I think a lot of people are on it, but even with that, Dallas defense has been so bad.
Right.
You gotta find a way to play. I like your Miles Turner look. I think I might pivot to like Benedict Mathurin and take a closer look at his points. Still about 30 minutes before game starts, so I'm gonna take this is usually around the time I take my time and do some of my little last minute guys. I look at some value spots. But yeah, man, like you said, it's like 9 or 10 games tomorrow as well. So most of my plays tonight is 0.75 units. Because I know, the amount of games per day is about to ramp up. So we got to manage the bankroll as well.
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely, Vaughn. I like the looks, bro. And I appreciate you sharing them, man. Appreciate you sharing them for sure. Let's cash them tonight. Walker Kessler rebounds, AD rebounds plus assists, Daniel Gafford rebounds. Vaughn got a couple other looks as well. So I think we did a pretty good job of capping the card, man. We still getting news about the the Denver Nuggets. It looked like everybody's been ruled in. Jamal Murray is the only one that just came out, and I've been posting them up top as well for the people, just so you guys can see them. I try to keep it updated as much as possible. Jamal Murray looked like he's going to be a true game time decision. I would veer towards him not playing, but they don't have a game tomorrow. The Rockets do get the Memphis Grizzlies coming into town tomorrow, and they don't need him to win. So, if it's anything close to, him not being 100%, I would kind of veer towards him not playing, but they are, they do have everybody else in. So I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to, not do the load management thing. I'm not 100% sure. Let me kick it to, I was about to close it down, but let me kick it to my guy Finesse real quick. Can't shut the spaces down without hearing from my guy Finesse. See what Finesse got for us today. And then I'll do a quick recap after that. What up, Finesse?
Yo, what up? I know I'm popping in late. I hope I'm not, holding y'all up.
No. You good, bro. What's up?
Chilling, bro. I'm driving, so let me know if I cut off or something like that. But yeah, I'll be quick. I'm sure people have mentioned it already. I woke up, looked on Twitter. Everybody and mother was on it, so we'll see what happens. But I'm on Halliburton double. I got I think plus 130. Looks completely kind of back in the form with his facilitation. Back-to-back 14 assist games. He's leading the league in potential assists over his last 5 games. Just as good of a matchup as they can be tonight. So, like him, what else I got? Lou Dort. I like Lou Dort tonight. Over 17.5 points. Total in the mid-230s. Should be a fast-paced, high-scoring game. No SGA. He thrives at home without SGA. I think he's covered this line in 5 of his last 6 at home without SGA. He's going to take 18-plus shots. Hopefully take and make a couple of threes. So I like Lou Dort tonight. What else I got? Jakob Poeltl over 11.5 rebounds and assists. We've seen him in a Toronto uniform cover this line with just rebounds. I think it's a good match. It's going to be a slower pace matchup, but I think it's a good matchup versus Vooch. So give me the 11.5 rebounds and assists. I also like DeJounte Murray over 19.5 points. The Wizards have been bleeding production to the shooting guard position. I think he gets loose. His volume is up. His scoring is up as of late. So I really like DeJounte tonight. Yeah, that's all I got, bro. Nice and quick. I appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely, Finesse. I appreciate you dropping the look. So Finesse mentioned Halliburton double-double on his birthday against a Mavs team that's not playing any type of defense at all. Lou Dort to go over his points. And then he also mentioned Jakob Poeltl, rebounds plus assists, which is an interesting line for Jakob Poeltl for sure. He has been facilitating. I don't know if people watched that Detroit game the other day. He was catching the ball at the high post and just they were running a lot of backdoor action to Siakam. He got a bunch of assists. So I like that. I like that look a lot. Jakob Poeltl over 11.5 rebounds plus assists. Something that he actually could clear with just rebounds alone, especially in a playoff type atmosphere game. I do think that game goes under. I talked about that earlier, but I didn't play it officially. The number has come down just a tad bit, which I agree with the movement there. And then DeJounte Murray as well, who's really turned it up recently against a Wizards team that, like Finesse said, really struggling, to guard anybody. So like the looks from Finesse as well, man. It's a lot of sharp looks, kind of giving out. I told you guys what I'm on. It's also at the bottom. Real quick, let me see what Prop said. He said, buyer beware on the Kings game tonight. No Fox. Pace of the game goes from 100.5 to 97.5 without him in. 122 points per game versus 104 points per game. Just a small PSA. I appreciate you saying that. Small 5-game sample, but Davion Mitchell and Monk not nearly as quick as Fox pushing the ball. I actually like the total to go under, and I know it's probably dropped some now, but that's the way I was actually looking in that game. I didn't play it because I didn't know if Fox was going to play or not. He definitely influences the pace and, his ability to be able to play making, score, push the pace. The total has come down to 231 points. I think it goes under that too, honestly. I think he influences the total, that much. It opened at 237. So it's come down 6 points, but that's with no SGA, who could have potentially got ruled in. I don't know if people saw it or not, but he got COVID, so he got ruled out, injured and health and safety protocol. So without both of those guys, I still feel like this total kind of goes under. It's actually dropped the spread as well to -2 at most books. So shorter line for Oklahoma City. But I like that OKC and Sacramento under 231. I'm gonna write it down. Maybe I'll do a little more work on it. That game doesn't start for a while. But top looks of the day, man. I kind of shared them with you guys already. Best bets are at the bottom. Golden State and Portland. That number is still playable if you guys like it. It's a 236 out there. It's some 235.5 out there as well. I think the game ends at about 225, 228 points tonight. So I still think there's some value on that number if you guys want to ride with me there. The Lakers and Memphis under 233.5. That total has dropped to 230.5. I still think that game goes under as well. Lakers play tomorrow. We got OKC. Memphis plays tomorrow. They go to the Rockets. Going to thrash them tomorrow. I think for that reason, you get two teams that if the Lakers going to keep this game even within 9 points, I think it's going to be because they do play defense in this game. So I still be looking towards the total to go under, but didn't play it officially. And then the last total that I talked about was in the San Antonio and Utah game. Utah, I think they're going to struggle to score today without, even against the San Antonio Spurs team, I think they're going to struggle to score without having, no real ball handler at all. They will not have Jordan Clarkson tonight. And, of course, Colin Sexton is still out. Also, I want to mention this real quick, looking through the Spurs beat writers. The Spurs have officially lost, I think, 16 games in a row now. That's the longest losing streak in franchise history. So I know the Spurs not winning games, not looking to win games. They're praying for Victor Wembanyama. I totally understand it. But at a point, they are going to win a game, right? So I do think that they kind of keep this one close tonight, and they're gonna have to do so with their defense. They don't have enough offense to be able to score. So I see a low-scoring game in that one. I played that total under 235.5. It's down to it's actually up to 236. It's some 235.5 out there as well. So a lot of the numbers that I got and I gave out earlier this morning are still widely available for you guys if anybody wanted to play them. Prop-wise, I talked about Miles Turner, over 27.5 points plus rebounds. Really like Miles Turner in this spot tonight. The Mavs have nobody that should be able to guard him at all. And I also like, I forgot who gave it out earlier. Brook Lopez. I kind of talked about it, and he mentioned it as well. Brook Lopez over 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists is a line that I think is pretty achievable for him, especially with the Bucks not playing tomorrow as well. And then we kind of just talked about it, OKC and Sacramento. I still think that game goes under 231.5 without, the two best players on the floor tonight. So that's the way I'm kind of looking at the games tonight, but a bunch of, really good, solid looks given as well. And last but not least, what I wanted to, like I said, I'm going to do a show in the morning as well, but looking at these early lines. So Chicago going to be on the second leg of a back-to-back tomorrow. They got to go to Detroit. Detroit will get some of their guys back. I don't know if you guys saw the injury report news, but, we have kind of gotten some injury news for them today. So they'll get Jaden Ivey back tomorrow. It looks like right now they're a 5-point dog. They'll get Jaden Ivey back tomorrow, but this team is desperately trying not to win games. So Toronto should probably win this game tonight. Chicago should probably win tomorrow. And if it's close, that's a short travel from Toronto to Detroit. Typically, those teams end up playing back. When you play one, you play the other one next game after. But if Chicago lost tonight and win tomorrow, that wouldn't surprise me at all. That spread probably also going to move from 5 and go up, a little bit more. Also, probably looking towards the under in that game. Detroit has really, really struggled to score the ball. And Chicago's one, the the number one defensive team over the last 10 games in the NBA. And real quick, what did I see earlier? I saw Jaden Ivey probably going to be back tomorrow. Isaiah Livers is listed as doubtful. Isaiah Stewart and Duren has already been ruled out as well. And Bogdanovich is going to be back tomorrow. So they will get some of their scoring back, but Chicago should be able to lock them boys up tonight. Maxi Kleber just got ruled in as well. That don't really affect me. He hasn't played in 2 months, so I still like Miles Turner a lot tonight, and I'm going to go ahead and make that official as well. Add that one to the list. And then we got Phoenix and Charlotte. That line looked like it's opening at 10, 9.5 in some places. Phoenix should absolutely smack Detroit tomorrow. Charlotte tomorrow. Lonzo Ball is done for the season. Fractured his leg yesterday, and Kevin Durant is going to be in his first appearance in Charlotte. So really, really like Phoenix. Probably just play their team total over and maybe look towards Charlotte team total to go under or something. I got to figure out what I want to do with that game, but I got to play Phoenix in some kind of way tomorrow in KD first game. Brooklyn will probably lose by 30 tomorrow against the Knicks. because they will be on the second leg of a back-to-back. They're getting smacked up by the Knicks tomorrow in New York. Cleveland play Boston tomorrow. I haven't looked at that one at all. I got to look at that one. And the game back at home as well. Jaylen Brown, I think, is back. He was out yesterday for personal reasons. So it'll be a bounce-back spot for them. Miami and Philly. Philly is a 1-point favorite as a road favorite with a total of 215 points. I'm not going to give you guys anything on that. I got to look into that one. But I do lean Philly to get a bounce back. They kind of feel like the little brother to the Miami Heat because, Miami beat them last year in the playoffs, and Philly has the much better roster, or at least we thought so. And then, they still couldn't get a win the other day, last night. Memphis plays Houston. Memphis should absolutely crush Houston tomorrow. I expect them to beat the Lakers pretty handily tonight, but I'm not laying the 9 with them. And Sengun under, because he'll have his hands full with Jared Jackson Jr. tomorrow. Lakers and OKC, nothing on that game right now. Orlando plays against Milwaukee. Orlando probably be a big dog tomorrow, probably catching like 10 points, maybe 9.5, and they'll probably end up covering that spread as well. As a road dog, they've done really, really well coming off the win last night against the against the New Orleans Pelicans, outright win. And then you got the Pelicans and the Portland Trail Blazers, with the Blazers looking like they're 2-point favorites in that game already. A line only opened at 2 on DraftKings, it looked like right now. So I'm not playing the Pelicans the rest of the year, so I'll only be able to look towards Portland, but I'll give you guys more information on that. Tune back in with me tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. if you guys can, or catch the replay. Also, check out the podcast on all podcast streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but it's always available on YouTube. So however you guys want to catch the information. Best of luck to you guys on all your action today. I'll see you guys in the morning.